Everyone has heard about the Moai on Easter Island, which are dated just a few thousand years ago. But is that true? Do you know that the Moai have been excavated to great depths and they're actually, some of them, full-size humanoids? With many patterns and features that have been hidden from the mainstream. And tonight, you're going to learn why. A new paper coming out, Harbetsuvan Tepe, the 10,000-year-old Neolithic Acropolis of Tas Templar. Now, most people wouldn't even know what that means just reading the title, but it has everything to do with Göbekli Tepe and other areas in the region of Turkey, which are mind-blowing and date to over 11,000 years old. Now, Harbetsuvan Hill is similar to the Acropolises built on the hills near the ancient Greek cities. It was established in a mountainous region called the Tepe Mountains at an altitude of 714 meters above sea level. Research carried out in Sanlurfa since 1997 has led to the discovery of many cult centers symbolized by the T-shaped pillars in the region, which were made famous by Göbekli Tepe. Here you can see Sanlurfa man, with the dark holes in the eyes, and I want you to bring your attention on his fingers and the belt below, and the way his fingers are touching. This is very significant. This statuette is dated about 10,000 years old. Now, you may have heard of the discovered cult centers with the name Tas Templar, Stone Hills, many times. The most famous of these cult centers is Göbekli Tepe, or Karan Tepe. Harbetsuvan Tepe, or Harbetsuvan Hill, which is approximately 7 kilometers to the south of Karan Tepe, is built on a high hill, just like the rest of them. It has a panorama that can see almost the entire Haran Plain, which you can see here. Harbetsuvan Tepe, which was discovered for the first time during a survey carried out in 2014, is located within the borders of the Ayabuye district of Sanlurfa. During the salvage works carried out on the Harbetsuvan Hill, one of the small cult centers, in 2017, it was understood that the architecture on Earth was very similar to Göbekli Tepe 2-layer architecture, which you're looking at here. Now, 3 of these cult centers, which are contemporary now with Göbekli Tepe's levels 3 and 2, dated to pre-pottery Neolithic A phase and pre-pottery Neolithic B phase, are the same size or even larger centers than Göbekli Tepe. Did you hear that? These sites are bigger than the largest archaeological find ever on Earth. And so why isn't every archaeologist running out here to figure out what's going on? Well, by design. Now, because these regions that are just being unearthed are bigger than Göbekli Tepe, minds are being blown. And it strengthens the possibility that Karan Tepe, Ayanlar Hoyuk, and Tafan Hoyuk are contemporary with Göbekli Tepe level 3 as well. Which means that there are dozens of cult centers, quote unquote, all over this region, where there must have been hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people preparing these sites. Other small cult centers such as Harbetsuvan Tepsi, Sefer Tepe, Kurt Tepsi, Saburk, Talsi Tepe generally have an area of 5 to 15 decares and are also contemporary with Göbekli Tepe level 2. Mind-blowing. There are millions of people carving these T-pillar shaped things with bas relief in the middle of nowhere, and farming doesn't exist yet. Someone is obviously wrong. Now, during the surveys around Harbetsuvan Tepe, the slope settlements trap areas and rock shelters were identified. Slope settlements are approximately 3 to 5 decares in size and face southwest or southwest. The reasons for the establishment of the slope settlements must be the gazelles in the region, and the trap area is built accordingly as a result. Harbetsuvan Hill looks like a center with ties to trap areas, slope settlements, and rock shelters, compared with Karahan Tepe, located next to it. The fact that Harbetsuvan Hill was established in a place overlooking the plain also gives the impression that this center was established for Karahan Tepe, and maybe even hunting. Now, during the survey on Harbetsuvan Tepe, pools carved into the bedrock and tools made of flint and obsidian were found. Thanks to the finds, it was understood that the settlement was established as a small cult center in the B phase of the pre-pottery Neolithic period. This is all nonsense, in my opinion. In addition to the many T-shaped pillars, which we know from Navali Kori, Sefer Tepe, Hasman Tepe, and Göbekli Tepe, were also found on the surface of the hill. Dozens of them, probably hundreds. There's just not enough archaeologists to unearth it. And as a result of the research carried out on this settlement, finger reliefs were also found on a T-shaped pillar that was unearthed in an area excavated by illegal diggers. Now, I want to bring your attention to the fingers here, which are very similar to the fingers here at Göbekli Tepe. And I'm about to blow your mind. But first, let's get on with the archaeology at the site. When the sculptural works at Harbetsuvan were examined, it is seen that they are similar in characteristics to the work at Karahan Tepe and Göbekli Tepe. And as a result, it is thought that the Harbetsuvan excavation will bring new information to the scientific world in terms of showing promising finds already in the first excavation season and illuminating the pottery Neolithic period B phase in the region. That's just all gobbledygook. The big story is that these are 11,000 years old. There are hundreds of sites all within this region, unexcavated, maybe thousands. And no one is making the connection here to Easter Island in the excavated Moai. Do you see what I'm pointing at here? The fingers are exactly the same as Göbekli Tepe. And the pillars are exactly the same. They're rectangular. They're not rounded. They're rectangles. And the hands, well, this is something that mainstream does not want you to learn. That there's a direct connection 11,500 years ago to something they claim is 2,000 years old. I doubt it. And here again, another Moai unearthed in the last decade with the same fingers. These are two different Moai, both on Easter Island. One of them has a left hand higher than the other, which is exactly the same as here. Left higher than the right. In this picture, right higher than the left. But you get what I'm getting at. These are the same carvings on opposite sides of the earth. And no one is talking about it. In fact, these images have been buried from the internet. It's very difficult to find pictures of excavated Moai with hands like this. But it's very obvious that this occurred and it was reburied and a lot of files were deleted. Well, because the connection is clear. There is an ancient culture that was destroyed at the Younger Dryas event that lived on Easter Island, that lived worldwide. And, well, we've been lied to. What else is new? And that's a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. More on this in upcoming episodes. So subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for updates. Become a Patreon and support the work we do. We're just getting started. And that is a boom. Be safe. We love you.